There we go. Click on this. Yes. And we are live. Welcome to Rising Up with Jeryl. I'm your host, Jeryl, and I am so excited tonight because my dear friend Karen Palmer is with us here this evening. Hi, Karen. I'm so happy to
Hi.
have you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. So, what I would like to do, I want to read Karen's bio because this woman is like the Energizer Bunny on steroids. I kid you not. If you could bottle your energy, I would buy it. I would like mortgage my house to have it. I'm telling you.
It's funny, Geraldine. Many people have said if they could bottle my energy, they would buy it.
I would. I'll tell you what, you are amazing.
I don't know how to bottle it.
So here we go. Karen is a mom who made a wish that sparked a kindness revolution. She has gone from homeless to becoming a global kindness leader and internationally known educator. She designs musical coloring books, games, and toys to help co-create a kinder world. Karen is the founder of Global Kindness Going Viral and the Puppy Love Revolution. She combines ancient wisdom, modern science, and technology to raise the levels of compassion, gratitude, kindness, and peace on earth. And Karen is known as Mindful Media Mom and Miss Kindness on all social media. Karen is a spokesperson, live stream, and social media expert for many large organizations. She's a best-selling author and co-produces several popular online talk shows. She helps change agents and peacemakers find their voice and share their message and gifts globally. Karen is a professional recording artist, also of conscious music. Wow, Karen, you always blow me away. I've known you for several years, and you really certainly changed my life in a lot of ways with the on-air stuff that you were doing and I was going. So I want, first of all, thank you for the part that you have played in my spiritual growth. I am ever so grateful. But if you'll indulge me a second, I want to, Karen, you work with children in the schools. You do so much and music and everything. And we find ourselves, of course, everyone says it and it's true, in this unprecedented time. And we have parents at home, children at home. Everything is completely topsy-turvy. And it's not like summer vacation where the kids can go outside and play with their friends. It's not like the family can get in the car and go on a vacation. Families are struggling right now, and so you are my go-to when it comes to kids and families and what to do. So Karen, I'm going to just kind of turn it over to you. I want you to talk to us about what these families can do. Would you please help us, please?
You know, the absolute first thing that I would love for families to do is breathe, breathe together. You know, there's so many wonderful ways at this time that we can connect with each other. And being in this quarantine situation is an opportunity for many families to be able to communicate with each other and also learn how to breathe together, because breath is going to first of all, we have, I wanted to just kind of share a little bit about some of the things I've been doing for myself, which is lavender. I use a lot of lavender. So what I love to do, and this is, I'm just going to walk you through it sort of, just put a little bit of lavender in your hand and then really sink it in and then put it on your face really nicely, gently, very kind, compassionately. And then rest your hands over your eyes. And then you're going to do ocean breath while you have this over the lavender over your eyes, because ocean breath gets you out of your head and into your heart space. So ocean breath is an ancient breath that has been around for thousands of years. The yogis believed that it was a way to neutralize the mind and neutralize. So I always say, be kind to your mind. How can you be kind to your mind? You see, our mind is, if it becomes our friend, it's our best friend, and we can have the most amazing and beautiful life. If we are listening to old tapes and old stories that are not true, and their limiting beliefs and their negative self-talk, then our mind is not our friend anymore. So we have to really analyze the thoughts that we're thinking. And when we have too many thoughts at once, we realize that, especially when we've been bombarded with news, we've been bombarded by people telling us, you know, don't bring your canvas bags to the store anymore. Don't wash, you have to wash everything before you use it. Just everything is basically become so fearful. And our mind wants to keep us safe.
Right.
But our heart, when we get into our heart space, our heart knows we're safe. So ocean breath gets us out of that, all that spinning and crazy feeling, and bringing your hands over your eyes. It quiets the distractions.
Okay.
So it quiets, because we are such a distracted society. And I really believe that Mother Earth gave us a timeout. I really believe that Mother Earth has given us a timeout. We humans weren't listening. And many of us were trying desperately to get others to listen. But there has been a huge awakening on the planet since this has happened. And I just feel like there's been an incredible increase as far as families go,
Right.
in being able to spend time together. I see them riding bikes. I see in my neighborhood, I see neighbors that I've never seen before out riding bikes and walking their dogs, and so friendly, and everybody talking to each other.
That is so good, because you hear different stories from different ones. Some people like not wanting to look at another, are afraid for contact, and the 6-foot rule. And so it seems like we're kind of vacillating between fear, gratitude. There seems to be a real roller coaster of emotions going on right now. So I'm glad to hear that you're experiencing people, being friendly to each other and smiling and all of that. And so this ocean breath,
Mm-hmm.
how can you be a little more detailed about how long do you do it? What's, I got the whole eye thing, and
Yeah,
I
it's
got
super
some
easy.
lavender.
Yeah, it's super easy. And welcome, Scott, and welcome, Rhonda, and welcome, Diane, and welcome, Wendy. And thank you, everyone, so much for being here. I love all the comments coming in. We love you too. We're
Yes,
so
I don't
grateful for
see
each and
those.
every one of
So
you.
yeah.
So grateful for you to be here. So ocean breath, as I said, it's a really fun breath to teach children, because
Okay.
they really love to feel relaxed. And that's their natural state of mind. Their natural essence is calm and peaceful and generous and kind. And so when we give them these tools, I call them their superpower tools, they become the best version of their self.
Okay.
So ocean breath is breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, making kind of a swishy sound with your nose. And breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And just imagining, close your eyes this time, put your hands over your hands, because this is when we close our eyes, we remove all distractions. So rest your hands over your eyes and rest them lightly so that you can breathe through your nose. And then just 3 little breaths like that, and then bringing your hands back to your heart. And you know, another beautiful thing that I've been doing is, since we can't shake hands, since we can't, I don't like bumping elbows, I say namaste to people. And people will ask me, oh, what is that? And we have a song that I wrote that the kids can do. This is another thing you can do with your family. It's called the kindness song. And it goes, namaste, namaste, oh, what a beautiful day. Namaste, namaste, such a lovely way. Namaste, namaste, I see the kindness in you. Namaste, namaste, you see the kindness in me. It's a wonderful way to greet each other in the morning at breakfast, over breakfast. And the kids love doing this. They love playing namaste. Can we do the kindness song? Can we do the kindness song? So when you start with ocean breath, this is going to really change the way families communicate with each other. Right. When we start our day, and then I have the song today. So today is a song that we start every morning. I design musical coloring books, so many of the coloring books that I design are used in the schools now as, you know, a curriculum. And we're actually working on an app that's going to be available to teachers that have all my music, so that teachers can sing along and they can start their day. So when we start our day in a mindful way, we really, really set the intention that we are going to control our thoughts. We're going to have more understanding of our feelings, and we're going to be gentle with our emotions. So when we set that as our intention, we're setting our children up to be empowered for their day. They're completely going to have every tool that they possibly can need. And it's just incredible how I've watched it, like, and teachers are using this, and they're really seeing a difference. And I've gotten beautiful testimonials from the teachers. But the song is, today outside my window, a new day I see, and only I determine what day it will be. It can be so busy, laughing, sunny and gay, or boring and cold, unhappy and gray. My own state of mind decides what it will be, for I am only the person I let myself be. Now you see, these are affirmations. Right. This is the songs that I'm doing and the words that I'm saying, namaste, namaste, oh, what a beautiful day. These are affirmations, because whatever we say, what we think, right, we bring about. Right. So that's why it's so important that we start our day in a mindful way, in a kind way, in a gentle way. And having breakfast, and after you do all your namastes and everybody, you know, gets around the table, everybody's done their breathing exercise, then they can do, after they've eaten their breakfast and after they've had, you know, they can have some fun, and they can do breath of fire. And breath of fire brings up that energy. So you bring your hands into Gyan Mudra, so that's a Gyan Mudra. Okay. And you make the okay sign. Now I tell kids all the time, when you make this okay sign, it's letting you know that you have courage and peace in your hands. And anytime that you're afraid or nervous or angry or frustrated, you can remind yourself, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And that's not only is this ancient wisdom, this is modern science also. This is NLP. So NLP also teaches this technique. So this goes right into our neuro, you know, all of our new neurons are particularly when the kids start to empower themselves by using these mudras. And, you know, mudras are powerful, powerful things to help children also, and they love them. And you don't have to call them mudras, I call them hand exercises. Okay. So when we do these hand exercises, and then breath of fire is really fun because you breathe quickly and sniff quickly in and out through your nose. And you're going to bring the hands up over your head and bring the arms down by your side. So you're going to go.
Oh, how fun.
So as you're doing that, it's actually almost as aerobic as running in a jogging, in, you know, going for a run or going for a jog. And the more that you do that, the more you know, and you can just do it just resting your hands on your lap too, if you want to just do that. Or you can bring your hands on your shoulders and you can bring your head up and go. Now that opens up your heart chakra and that opens up your throat chakra. And that also gives kids a lot more confidence when they have to do like public speaking, or they have to, you know, they're afraid to maybe share a book report. A younger child would, you know, have to do a book report. But older children, like teenagers and high school kids, they love these because, you know, you just, and it opens up everything. As you're doing that, you're opening everything up, and you can feel it in your solar plexus. You can feel it in your heart. You can feel it in your throat. Your third eye is being tingly. Your top of your crown is being tingly. And so you're really moving the energy. So those are the things I would suggest that families can start their day with. And then as you're having breakfast and as you've done your exercises and before everybody leaves the table, just everybody share one thing that they're grateful for to one person at the table.
Okay. So is there a place that somebody could go? I mean, I love all this, but if they're like me with everything going on, is there some place they can go to that this is kind of written out, or that they can learn to do this? Do you have something that they could?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely do that. And I'll post that in your Rising Up with Jeryl Ann Facebook page. Because I have a YouTube channel also. Okay. So many of these are on the YouTube channels. And I also have many of the PDFs that I can send. Like this one is the one that I do with the kids. This is 8 breaths, peace breaths that calm you. So I can put that onto the onto your Facebook page.
Oh, so that would be wonderful. And we can spread it out onto Enlightened World Network and on the Healing Heart Rising Up. We've got a lot of places. So, and they can also contact you as well on Facebook at Karen Palmer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I love that. I would love to do that just for me. You know, I don't have any kids around, but you know, that would be something for me to start my day to incorporate into my routine. So that would be great. But I get to the end of this and I go, okay, now what did she do? Was it breathing in, breathing? You know what I mean? We get a little,
absolutely.
That would be wonderful for us, you know, to be able
absolutely. I would be honored to do that. I will put those things up onto the Facebook page, and it's nice to have something to go along with, and to get, you know, when we create a practice in our family, we create a bond that is unbreakable. And, you know, my daughter is in San Francisco, I'm in Solvang, and we talk on FaceTime all the time. And she's meditating, and she's, you know, doing her inner journeys. And I started teaching her when she was 4 years old. And I really, she would always ask me, can we go ride on the cloud tonight before I go to sleep? And we would, and my daughter travels all over the world now, you know, with the work that she's doing. She is such a manifester, and she is living her dream life. She's a publicist and a PR person, and she gets to go all over when this is over to travel with a wonderful man who wrote an intentional business book. And he is a businessman who started Airbnbs, and he started the company Airbnb, and he also was helped start eBay, and now he's wanting to go on his own to do his own conscious business. And Marissa is his right-hand girl. And so, but she started, you know, when she was 4 years old, and we had family time. I didn't have that as a child. So my mom and dad divorced when I was 10. And my mom had to go to work, and she worked very hard. She was an amazing mother. She was an incredible single mom. My dad was kind of absent in my childhood. He came back around in my teens, which was a blessing, and we were able to forgive. But when I got pregnant and I knew I was going to have this beautiful being that has chosen me to be her mom, I dropped everything, and I made sure I never missed a recital. Because there were many times that I was at recitals and I'd look out and there'd be nobody there for me. And I promised myself when I got pregnant that would never be her experience. And so I really believe that we create the families that we have. And we have an incredible opportunity right now. We have a beautiful opportunity.
Yeah, that's, as you were saying that, I've seen it, and I watch my nieces and nephew. I didn't have children myself, but I've seen my nieces and nephews and children of my, friends and that. And, I've sat there and thought, how do they do it? I mean, how do they work? How do they have these kids? And kids have so many extracurricular activities. And I have felt so strongly that, this time out we've all gotten is a time in, and a time in for families to get to know each other. And my hope, one of my prayers in all of this, is that families can come back together and sever that, what seeming fracture that we see in a lot of households. And not because parents don't love their kids or anything, it's that to survive, both parents have to work, everybody's going, it's go, 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 go. And we've all said many, many times, oh my gosh, I just can't do this anymore. I just wish things would slow down. Well, guess what? We got our wish. And so I see this for everyone. Even we don't have children, but my husband and I are reconnecting in a way we have never connected, because we were both going, even as busy as we are, we can't leave the property, so we're here together. And I really find that this is going to be one of the greatest blessings that come out of this, this whole experience, is families will start to have meals together. And I love, Karen, how you talk about starting your day and doing the breathing, and can you touch on meditation? People are really kind of scared of that. People think, oh, I don't know how to meditate. How would I get my kids to do it? You go into the school?
Well, I call them inner adventures or inner journeys.
Okay.
And the kids love them because they're very multisensory, and they have multisensory gifts. So they go beyond their five senses, and they are clairvoyant. They're very clairvoyant. They're very clairaudient. They're very clairsentient, very claircognizant. And when I take them through journeys, I usually take them through a journey of something that they're familiar with, like playing with. So it's Easter time right now, like having having a bunny that they go and see out in a field, and I talk about all the senses that they're comfortable with, So mindful meditation, which is a mindful meditation, is when we are using our senses. So I call it sifting through. It's sifting through. So it's sensation, image, feelings, and thoughts. So when we're going through an inner journey, we're going to have sensations, we're going to have images, we're going to have feelings, and we're going to have thoughts. Now, the thoughts will start to come up and people will say, I don't think I'm doing this right because my thoughts are coming up and I don't think I'm doing this right. But that's okay. What I say is when those thoughts are coming up, just imagine that you are the sky and those clouds are just going to float by, and there's only beautiful little thoughts that are coming into the clouds, and your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts are the clouds, and you are the sky. And when you're doing that, you can bring them back, and you can see sometimes they're like opening their eyes and they're looking back at you, and they're am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And then all of a sudden it just drops, and they drop into their heart, and they're you can see their little sweet little face, just all the stress and all the worry just drain right out of their face, and they just are just sitting there, and they're enjoying the journey. They're feeling the sensations. One of my favorite things to do with the children is to go through the emotions that they may be feeling. Are you feeling kind of silly right now? Does it feel kind of scary to keep your eyes closed? Are you feeling like you want to know what your neighbor's doing? What kind of thoughts are coming up for you? Let's put those on the cloud. Put those on the cloud. Every time a thought comes up, just say, oh, another thought. I'm going to put that on the cloud. And when you do that, you're not making it wrong. You're not going, I don't think I'm doing this right. I don't think I'm doing this right. There are so many myths about meditation. One of the myths that I love to put right to shame is that anybody can't do it. That people say, I just have too many thoughts. My mind is too busy. I'm too intellectual. Many people will say, I'm too intellectual. I have too much going on. There's no way that I can slow my thoughts down. Well, what I want to say to somebody like that is you need meditation more than you think, because if your thoughts are running the show, again, your thoughts are running your neurons. Right. And if you want to have more peace in your life, you want to be in your heart neurons. You want to be in the heart space, right?
Yeah, that's when that's a really good point you bring
up.
Heart
Math does a really great
this all the time and I've said it myself, that monkey mind.
Yeah.
As you hear that statement so frequently, would you talk about that just a minute? What does that mean? I mean, it's kind of like, okay, you got these or the squirrel, you're kind of off chasing the squirrel or whatever, or the rabbit.
Well, we have our mind brain, we have our heart brain, and we have our gut brain. So we have all of these beautiful brains that we don't utilize a lot of times. And what I love to teach the children about is how to do that, right?
Right. Yeah. So we've covered a lot about kids, and honestly, I'm sure any parents that are out there, grandparents that are out there, are really grateful to you right now, because again, this is not a time that we're used to. And so the pressure or responsibility of guiding your children through this, and it's a scary time for them. I want to touch on that just for a moment, because these are things that they can do to stimulate their children's minds, to stimulate their bodies in that. But how would you suggest that when the kids are dealing with this fear, they don't understand, they don't get it. I mean, adults, we don't get it most of the time. And so from the perspective of a child, they can't be with their friends. They can't go to school. I know a friend of mine was talking today about the fact that, the grandchild is like, well, why do I have to do homework? I'm not going to school. And this is a really confusing time for them. Do you have anything that you could share on that for parents to kind of help explain it to them on their level that they can understand?
Yeah, the best way to share the ideas of feelings in your for your child is to help them get back into their body, because they they we want to talk about where it's coming up for them. A lot of times kids will say, well, my throat feels really tight, or my heart feels really sad, or my stomach feels upset. When you give them a space to open up and you invite them, again, Gyan Mudra, give them their power, tell them, remind them they get to choose how they're feeling right now. Emotions don't just pop out of the blue. We're in charge of our emotions. And when an emotion comes up and we feel fear, or we feel doubt, or we feel frustrated or irritated, we need our tools. We need our tools. We need our hands in Gyan Mudra. We can start by that. Noticing the sensations in my fingers. I feel the buzzing sensations in my fingers right now. That feels kind of more peaceful. Something I can look at that brings me peace is my fingers, my hands. I can look. Another thing that you can do is, as you're bringing them into their body and having them talk about their feelings, ask them to start naming things in the room. What kind of things do you see in the room? Do you see books? Oh yeah, there's lots of books. Oh, do you see blankets? Yeah, there's lots of blankets. This gets them out of the fear, and it gets them interested in being neutral. What we want, we have neutral thoughts, we have unkind thoughts, and we have kind thoughts. So when we're being kind to our mind, we are having neutral or kind thoughts. When we're being unkind to our mind, we have unkind thoughts. Unkind thoughts are thoughts that are really weakening us. So fear and shame and blame and anger, these are emotions that we can feel, and they're not wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. They weaken us. And so we want to make friends with them so that we can understand where they're coming from in our body. That's the first thing. So the 4 A's are the most important thing you can teach a kid about fear. So I'm feeling fearful, mommy. I'm feeling fearful. I feel really scared right now. Okay, sweetheart, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for feeling safe enough to share with me how you're feeling. Always, number one, acknowledge. That's the biggest thing. Acknowledge what they're feeling. Help them. Most of us, brought up, myself included, are brought up to shove that down, put a smile on your face. Yeah. So acknowledge it, number one, and really acknowledge that child. Acknowledge and see the fear and see that, and don't just go, oh, Johnny, it's not scary. It's not scary. Don't worry. It's just a movie. Or it's, my dad made me go watch Exorcist when I was 11 because he couldn't find a babysitter. And I was, and my dad was doing the best he knew how at the time. And he didn't have a babysitter. So I'm not blaming him and I'm not shaming him. I'm just saying that when that happened, it was a trauma for me for years, because he would have me watch horror movies and he liked to see the fake and say, like, you know, that now that's pea soup that's coming at her. And I was being like, you know, like, I'm 11. I don't know the difference, right? So fear is something that we want to acknowledge. Number one, that's, we want to acknowledge what they're feeling, right? And then we want to bring acceptance to their feelings. So you want to say, you know, sweetheart, I hear you. And I know that fear sometimes really scares me too, because they want to feel that empathy. They want to know, am I strange for feeling this way?
Right.
You know, what's going on? Like, I saw this thing on the news, and, you know, and I don't really understand it, but I have all this fear in my body. I don't know what to do with it, you know. And then the third thing is your attention. So bringing that attention into, where are you feeling that fear, honey? Where's that coming up for you? Well, I just want to close my eyes. I feel shaky. You know, I feel shaky. My hands feel shaky. Okay, that's good. Let's look at that, because that's something that's telling you you're not breathing. Let's do some ocean breath. Let's bring our shaky hands to our heart, and let's see if we can do one ocean breath together, you know? And you're going to see the stress go right out of their face, and their hands are going to stop shaking. And number 4 is appreciate that feeling. Say, oh, thank you, fear. Now that I understand you can be my friend, I'm not afraid of you.
Right. Right. Thank you. That's the 4 A's. You
Yeah,
know,
the 4 A's. So you've got your first thing is to acknowledge. Your second thing is to accept where you are, accept where they are, accept where they are. And then you're going to bring attention into the feeling. Where is it in your body? Where is it in your, where do you feel it? Talk about it, understand it, and then appreciate it. Go back into your, you know, my hands were shaking. I was, you know, I didn't feel like I could even get my hand into Gyan Mudra, and I did it. Mommy, I did it. And really acknowledge, really give them so much appreciation at that point. I'm so proud of you, honey. I'm so proud of you. Like, you did such a good job. You looked right at that fear, and you really did a great job. And I know how scary it was, because mommy gets scared too. One thing that I did with my daughter is I never hid my feelings. And I always talked to her about being okay with feelings. And unfortunately, many of our generation didn't have that opportunity. Hi, Jacqueline Buglisi. Hi, Jacqueline. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. Jacqueline Buglisi does the most beautiful table of silence on 9/11. She is an incredible dance director and producer of incredible, beautiful productions in New York City. All my love to you, Jacqueline. I'm so grateful that you're here. Welcome. This is my dear friend, Jeryl, and this is her wonderful show, Rising Up with Jeryl. Please invite everybody to watch this. Anybody who has, you know, any fear in their life, if they know anybody, yes, it's wonderful to see you too. So these are, you know, these are really important things that we can do for not just our children, but for ourselves, because, you know, we have fear, and we have doubts, and we have insecurities. And this is one thing, you know, we have an inner child too. So we have an inner child, and I love to do, well, you know, I love Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono.
All the time. Love it.
I absolutely, it neutralizes everything. So I teach the children a little song, and they can bring their hands to their heart, and they can just give themselves a nice little rock, just a little rock. And I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You can teach your child mirror work too, so they can sing that to themselves in their own eyes. And what that does is it really, that's like 0.0, you know, in our stress level.
Right. You know, I really appreciate and I love this, Karen, because, you know, our parents, and you were speaking about your dad earlier, our parents, and even I'm 62, I'm much older than you, and even a lot of people my age, we carried on the same patterns of the grandparents and the great grandparents. And You know, I came from kind of a Pennsylvania Dutch English stoic, you know, suck it up and don't
Suck it
show your
up. I was Massachusetts.
you
Suck
know,
it up.
cry and all of that thing. And you know, that really didn't work for us. I mean, that's why our planet is, our world is where it's at today. And what I
That's why
love
we have
about
lots of, yeah, that's why we have lots of healing of our inner
yeah,
child.
to do. And so I'm really loving, and I hope people reach out to you because I'm loving the fact that we're taking, this is part of the new world to me. And so we're approaching it in a way, and trust me, I'm not dissing my parents, my grandparents, or anyone. It was the way it was, and we
Know
chose
better,
to
you do
come here
better.
with them. But it is now up to us to do it differently, to
Yep.
do it in a more healed, in a more healthy way. So I am so loving this conversation, and I hope everyone else is loving it as much as me, because this is what is going to create the children of the future. This is what's going to create our future world.
That's
How
how we're going to have peace on earth.
yes, how we handle this right now
Yep.
in this moment of time is really going to have an impact on what we see on the other side of whatever it is, whatever that destination is on a linear level. This is going to have an impact on that. So I am so grateful for you being on here tonight and sharing all these things. And we've talked a lot about kids, but what's some things too? And I mean, I know now parents are stressed out, you know, some have lost their jobs, you know, and just being with the family. I mean, it's kind of like, it reminds me of, I live in a retirement community.
Mhm.
And so when people retire, the wife is like, oh my gosh, my husband's around 24/7. I can't get him out from underneath my feet. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose my mind. Well, this is the, I think families are going through a retirement syndrome in the same sense that they're all cooped up together. You know, hopefully some have yards and that where they can get out, like in your neighborhood, but that isn't always the case. But how do we as adults, how do we cope? Because keep in mind, we've been trained by our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents and that, God bless them all, but we have our own patterns to deal with as well, separate from dealing with the children. So how do we kind of keep, how do we maneuver through it? What's some ways that we can do it?
Well, you know, the answer to that is if you don't go within, you go without.
Right.
So the answer for that is to go within and really check in with your own self, you know, doing body scans. And really, a body scan is, how am I feeling right now before I go out and make breakfast for everybody, before I, you know, before I leave my bedroom this morning? What am I grateful for? What do I feel grateful for? You can at least have three things that you're grateful for. I always encourage, especially moms, to, you know, look at a beautiful tree or a flower or something in nature that's right outside the window, and really bring in that magnificence and see that beauty reflected back in you, that you are this beautiful flower and that you are this beautiful tree and that you are so grateful for this breath. I like to wake up, first thing I say is thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the air I breathe. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you.
Yes.
And I start my day, and then I feel my spirit energy, the energy of all of my friends and all of my loved ones that are on the other side, and all of the beautiful non-physical helpers and teachers and guides. And I invite them, and this is, I encourage you to do this too, invite them to put you in a beautiful orb of protection, so that when you are in this beautiful orb of protection, and you can just call in that kindness, kindness to the left, kindness to the right, kindness above, kindness below, kindness be with me wherever I go. I am love protected here. I am love protected here. And when you set that intention and you are bringing that energy around you, You can say, deflect away anything that is not for my highest good. Deflect away anything that is not for my family's highest good. And please amplify the energies that are for my highest good. And now you have your golden robe of protection on, and you can walk out your bedroom door and go make breakfast for everybody and be in your own joyful, peaceful state of mind. And, you know, start with the song today. Everybody, while everybody's making breakfast together, let's all sing today, because every day you get a brand new beautiful canvas that you get to paint your magnificent life.
Yeah.
Tell your children that. Tell yourself that. Tell your husband that. Tell your spouse that. Say, hey, this is great. I woke up. You woke up.
Exactly.
Holy cow. Are we the luckiest people on the planet?
Yeah.
Are you breathing? I'm breathing too. Oh my God. This is so awesome.
Yeah. And it is. And I mean,
it's a gift.
We have this brilliant opportunity to, you know, we have a brilliant opportunity to do it all differently. We got a do-over. We got a do-over, this huge do-over. And one of the things that we spoke about in our intention group that we're both a part of is a lot of the messages that many of us are getting is self-care and self-love, which does not mean selfishness. So would you address that? Because Karen, you had some beautiful messages on self-care and self-love. It was either this last Monday or the Monday before, and it just really hit home with me. And I think this is really important for the adults out there that have been harried and stressed, and they're dealing with everything and trying to keep the ship on course. Time out for this is important. So would you please, I love how you say this, so please address this.
Self-care is not selfish. First of all, as I said, if we don't go within, we go without. And the first thing that you have to think about is, is my cup full? Is it overflowing? Does my cup feel overflowing? Am I feeling like I am able to give from a place of plenty and a place of abundance? Or am I giving from scarcity and lack? Because that's the first question you want to ask yourself. Do I give myself self-care? Do I give myself the care that I feel is going to be helpful to my day? It's really important every day. Every day, it's so important that we fill our cup, or we don't have anything to give anybody else to drink. And, you know, everybody's looking for a drink, and we've got an empty pitcher, and we're trying to give from that empty space, and we get frustrated and we get irritated and we snap, and we lose our patience with our kids, and we're, you know, if we don't give to ourselves, and then they're watching us, and they're seeing, oh, I'm not going to have time for self-care. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to make myself important. It doesn't seem like my mom makes herself important. They're always watching us. You know, that's something that I'm really grateful that Marissa, I was pretty good about self-care, especially when I got the cancer. I got cervical cancer when she was very young. And so I had to start making myself a priority for my own health. And I was a giver. There's a law, and there's universal laws for everything. And the universal law of giving and receiving is one of the most important laws that there are on the planet. And many of us moms and women in general are overgivers and not so great at being a receiver. We're easily giving, but we have an imbalance in our receiving. And so that's so important. That is so important. And self-care is really, it awakens us to self-love.
Yes.
And if we don't love ourselves, and we don't really love ourselves, And we are looking for love in all the wrong places. We're looking for it in our husband. We're looking for it in our children. We're looking for it in the work that we're doing. But if we don't have it in ourselves first, it can't be mirrored back to us.
Right.
And so that's the most important lesson I learned in my life. And I feel that now that I have self-love, I have stepped into self-mastery. I have mastered this human experience. I've learned how to really love my emotions to the point that they don't have any more repression. There's no repression there. It's all calm, beautiful, like a beautiful river, like a beautiful lake, you know? My emotions come up. They don't come up like waves anymore.
Right, right.
They come up and they say, ah, here's something for you to look at. Ah, here's something for you to look at.
Yeah.
Ah, look at what that person just said. That really hurt. Ah,
Yeah.
I wonder why that hurt. And get curious, not critical of yourself. Be
Right.
curious about, why did that bother me so much?
Mhm.
Somebody says to you, I don't love you anymore, and you are sitting there falling apart, and you are just crumbling at their feet saying, please just love me. Please just love me. I'll do anything. What did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. I just don't love you anymore. Listen, if that person feels that way, that's their issue.
Right.
That's their stuff. But what you are reacting to is your issue. And so instead of blaming that person and saying, he was so mean to me, why did he say that? Why did she say that? Why did he do that? Say, thank you. You really just helped me realize there's something in me that didn't feel that I love myself. And now that I love myself, I don't need you to love me.
And you know, that is such a valid point. And I just want to make this point because we're running out of time. And I know I have a few things. I know I could talk to you forever and ever, but I want, in this tumultuous time, and I'm please take what she just said to heart, because there's all kinds of relationships going by the wayside. Things are shifting, things are evolving. And I know it's painful, but if you can get help, and also know that basically if it is not for your highest and greatest good and it moves out of your life, you have to grieve it. Don't get me wrong, you have to go through all those emotions, but do look at it from a different place if you possibly can. And there's people like Karen, there's people like me, there's all kinds of people out there right now, light workers, who will help you move through that. But Karen, before you've got some exciting things coming up. You have so many that I really want to let you pick and choose. We've got about 7 minutes left. I want you to pick something. I know you're with the Peace 2030. I mean, you've got a musical coloring book coming out. I mean, you've got so much. You've been writing music. I'm just gonna let you tell us what you're doing and how can people get excited with you?
Well, yes, I am helping to co-create Peace on Earth with the Peace on Earth Games. And it's like the Olympics, but you get to play virtually. So you get to do your acts, and then you go to the leaderboard and you get your gold medal, your silver medal, or your bronze medal. And everybody wins because we're all helping to raise the levels of hope on our planet to help to reach 100 million people believing that peace is possible. And that's what this game is all about. We have 7 beautiful acts that people can do. And once they do those 7 acts, they become a dream keeper. And their city or their town can become a peace zone or a PO zone. Peace on Earth is POE, a PO zone. And I'm going to be working to get California to be the first PO state. And I know my dear friend, you and Terry, are going to try and work to get Florida to be the first hypozone state.
Yes,
And
we
it's
are.
very exciting. It's very exciting. This is, and another piece that I'm so excited about is, and they can go to peace2030.earth. And all you got to do is go all the way down to the bottom. You can read all the beautiful things all the way down at the bottom. It says, I'll carry the torch. And you can either be a player, or you can be a team leader, or you can be a partner as an organization. So those are really awesome opportunities. You can do that. I'm also very grateful and humbled to announce that I am the Peace Ambassador for the Peace Pals International, which is peacepalsinternational.org. And that is an organization that's dedicated to having peace on earth, working with the children. And the children do a beautiful art contest. And they all put in it, may peace prevail on earth. And this is in line with the May Peace Prevail on Earth peace polls that are all over the world. And I'm going to be a spokesperson and ambassador for this wonderful organization. And I'm really, really honored and grateful, because we are really living this, loving the dream of peace on earth into our reality right now.
Yes.
It's happening, and we want you to be part of this. We have beta teams. This is going to launch in this is 2020. It's going to launch on International Day of Peace. That's going to be the 34th anniversary. In 1986, the founder of the Peace on Earth Games, the game master, David Gershon, who is brilliant, he actually did a Earth run where he passed the torch of peace to 62 countries. Wow. And they reached 45 million people. And that was in 1986. So this is going to be the 34th anniversary. And we're having a huge concert. We're having a big celebration. I'm going to be on a unity caravan going across the United States, coming to a city near you, performing Kindness Changes Everything. And that's unity.earth. And you can go to unity.earth. I'll come back in and type these into the chat. But if you go to unity.earth/caravan, you can see what we're doing. And we also have worldpeaceweekend.org. And that's where anybody can list anything that they're doing for the International Day of Peace, or any of their events that they have planned for the weekend. We're also going to be doing a virtual concert online that's going to be reaching many, many people. So wonderful. It's just incredible. There's so much good stuff happening in the world. When people say to me, do you really think you make a difference? I used to be very, very defensive about that thought, because I really didn't believe that one person could make a difference, because I had been taught a limiting belief in my childhood. Mm-hmm. And that limiting belief led me to many, many times of feeling unworthy and not enough. And that mirrored back to me in my life. But it's not there anymore. And my coloring books, you can go to globalkindnesstv.org/series. And my beautiful Sharon Rhea has the No Judgment, Just Love.
Oh, yes.
We created a musical coloring book together that is No Judgment, Just Love, Global Kindness Going Viral, Endangered Species. And it teaches, it's an educational musical coloring book, and it has the No Judgment, Just Love chant. I'll sing that real quick for you. Okay. No judgment, just love is a choice I make. I choose to release all anger and hate. Peace is possible, coos the dove. We are all worthy of no judgment, just love.
I love it. Yes. And if people want to get a hold of you, I have your address right up here at www.globalkindnesstv.org. Is there anywhere else they can get you as well?
They can get my free gift if they go to globalkindnesstv.org/dream. And that is your dream playbook that gives you all the ways to manifest your dreams. It has videos if you want to learn how to get your message out to the masses. It has videos for you to work with your own inner child if you have some issues. That these are for adults. This is all for adults. I'll put in the children's things onto the Rising Up with Jeryl page on Facebook. But yeah, I mean, go get the free gift. It's globalkindnesstv.org/dream. Over $300 worth of free gifts for you. I'm giving you, because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have a happy family. You deserve to have a wonderful life, and you deserve to be grateful for every part of it. And you know, when we wake up from this nightmare that we're experiencing, this nightmare of illusion, that we are separate from each other, and we realize that we're all in this together, we are going to have the dream of living in this experience of peace on earth by 2030. Go check it out. We have a plan. We have a game. You can play. You're all invited, and you can come and play. You don't have to worry about playing until September, or you can do your acts and you can just keep putting them up on the leaderboard as many times as you want. But I'll help you. If you need help, just reach out to me. Anybody who messages me on any social media, I always message you back. Even if you're not a friend on Facebook, I always check all of the messages of people who are requesting friendship. I miss kindness, and you know, we need more kindness in our world. And every person who reaches out to me, I'm going to promise you, I will be kind, I will listen to you, and I will do my best to help you feel a little bit happier just by talking.
Oh, thank you so much for being with me tonight, Karen. You are such a blessing to us all. You were such a treat, and I know people learned so much. And I'd like to invite you all back next Saturday night. And my guest next Saturday night is Diane Allison Beiersdorfer. She's an author, an intuitive healer, a metaphysical life coach. She does counseling. She's amazing. She's a reverend. She's just one of those really, another just beautiful soul that's here to help us evolve and to move through all that is happening here. So I'm Jeryl, your host, and I love you all. And thank you once again, Karen. And thank you, everyone, for spending your Saturday evening with us. I love you, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Don't forget, you can share this out on all the replays. And I see you here, Sue. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Watch the replay. You can share it, and you can share it with your mom too. All these exercises that I did for the children are wonderful things that you can do with your moms, your grandmas, any of the seniors in your life too, because they need breathing exercises. We all need breathing exercises.
So hang on to this. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.